It was once said that Australia rode on the sheep's back. Today, it's far more accurate to see an ore train as the carrier of this nation's wealth. So how does BHP Billiton deliver its iron ore from the mine through to the port on one of these enormous big trains? And look, we've been privileged to take you on part of that journey. Crushed ore comes from the mine site to what's called a live stack. Essentially, this is a dynamic stockpile. Trains go under a tunnel and 13 ore cars are loaded at one time by opening a series of gravity-fed chutes from which the ore falls directly into the trucks. This is the world's largest privately owned railway at 426 kilometres in length. Now, it also gets a gong in the Guinness Book of Records for having the world's longest and heaviest train. Each train is organised into clusters of 112 ore cars called rakes, each with its own locomotive. Regular trains pull up to 336 ore cars and can use up to 9 locomotives. These trains pass through majestic scenery on the way to the coast, and they cut an impressive figure as they snake through the country like some massive centipede.
This is the little number that Stan Hilditch was driving back in 1957 when he first discovered iron ore. Things have changed since then. And if you're planning to do a bit of driving yourself while you're here, you may have to arrange for an access permit. These allow you to travel through Indigenous lands and routes that may take you over mining railways. To find out if you need a permit, just call into the local visitor centre.
These are the Cathedral Rocks, so named because they're part of the Cathedral Ranges, and you can enjoy these from the road.
Actually, it's quite incredible. You can see where the tectonic plates have come together and pushed them right upright. You can see the cathedral, the organ sort of going. It's really beautiful stuff.
And I've fallen in love with these snappy gums. They are just incredible, just growing straight out of the rock.
Yeah.
Well, next we're off to Willy Wally Creek.
Where?
Willy Wally Creek.
Willy Wally Creek?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to Willy Wally Springs. It's about 44 k's off the main road, and the track here, well, it's four-wheel drive country, but a lot of fun coming in, I've got to tell you. Now, this is a terrific place to have a picnic, and whilst you're here, you might notice date palms popping up here and there. They're a good indication of the history of the area. You see, Afghans used to come through with their camels, and when the seeds are spat out, they'd pop up as palms like that all over the place, and they make a wonderful little oasis.
We're 76 kilometres north of Newman, and I'm standing on what is a brilliant art gallery that actually predates written history. This area is called Wanamana. This durable art depicts animals, humans and dreamtime characters that inhabited this country over 1,000 generations before Europeans arrived. And hopefully it's going to be around for the same amount of time into the future. Let's see what else we can find on the fascinating road to Karijini.
Now, one of the things that's really important to me is making sure we look after the environment. And I was worried about with these mine sites right up here in the most isolated places, whether it's still being looked after. Well, the good news is I've looked into it and it is. BHP Billiton employ environmental advisors like Esme who make sure that everything is as in pristine condition as it was when they first came here. How are those Spangled Perch going?
Yeah, they're doing really well, thanks.
These Spangled Perch are fascinating little creatures that are brilliantly adapted to life here in the Pilbara. When they're in creeks or ponds like this, when they start to dry out, they lay their eggs in the mud and then expire. Some weeks later or months later or even years, when the next rains come through and the creeks fill up, the eggs hatch and before you know it, the streams are full of fish again. We've finally made it to Karijini National Park. This is the visitors centre, and when you come up here, don't miss this, it's terrific. Well, coming up after the break, we're going down into a gorge.